Hey folks, Vortex here, and another release from KZ. This is the ESX and uses a 12mm super dynamic, and yeah, it is actually their kind of 10th anniversary model, which I didn't know that was even around for about 10 years. So yeah, as usual, full disclaimers, this is actually sent in to me by KZ, so thank you very much. I was not paid to do this video, and all thoughts and opinions are my own. And yeah, as usual, the latest kind of single DD models from KZ are actually getting really good value for money, and they do perform well. Yeah, let's just get into it. So a close look at the box. Obviously this has got this crazy kind of finish, meant to be their 10th year anniversary. So the 10th anniversary sincere work, alloy crack shaped front cover, built in 12mm super dynamic. So the only one that's used a 12mm before this is the ZES, and obviously this is the no mic specs. Obviously you can see there, 22 ohm impedance, 20 Hz to 40 kHz, which is big. Sensitivity is 111.59. Obviously they always use 3.5. I don't think they would ever go balanced. And the pin type is there 0.75. Obviously I've been using this, and yes, first one with a medal before I get to that. This is them, so you can see they're kind of on the heavy, so this is actually metal. Really nice kind of looking in real life. As you can see, it's a big dynamic. I think if they go larger than that, I don't think it would fit. But yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, they're kind of cool. Again, build quality seems very good, and they are quite heavy. And like it states, don't forget the purpose of using earphones is to enjoy music, which is correct. And I'm going to edit the video because I can't get this open. So to save a bit of time, obviously that was in the middle of this box, so yeah, this is metal. KZ Acoustics, www.kztws.com, which is their official site, and yeah, metal, so that's kind of cool to see. This should be one of the normal kind of cables. Yep. So normal cable there. Obviously, like I've said before, right angle connector. Decent enough. It's not too bad. Again, it used to be a lot better than what they used to kind of include. Normal paperwork there. Now this, obviously this is new. So that's it. Dear you old pals, first of all, thank you for the support. KZ have been living for 10 years because of you. You may have known us for less than 10 years. Anyway, we're still think of you as my old pals and want to tell you something from the heart. We started to make earphones 10 years ago. The market was expensive and messy. We don't think that was right, so we started KZ. Hi-Fi is not a logo, but a technology. With honesty and knowledge, we make a lot of good earphones with a dynamic BA or electrostatic tweeter. We are proficient. Our pride comes from your choice. Our achievement comes from making it more affordable hi-fi. So if you enjoy KZ, let's start the next decade together. Yeah, I think they should have somebody check the grammar, because there's a few mistakes. Like, you don't start with and it's living, it's living. But yeah, good to see something different. Here's just another quick look at these. And yeah, as I've already been using these before I did this video, I've already graphed them as well. So let's just get straight into the fun stuff. So into the review section of the KZ ESX, probably one of the best looking ones that I've done so far. And yeah, let's just get straight into build quality. So these seem to be metal. They're kind of on the heavier side. Obviously you can see the driver there, it is big, 12DD. Build quality seems really good. I've never really had any issues with the actual build quality. Again, all the latest ones all seem to be dynamic drivers, but yeah, it's good. So let's go into comfort. Comfort again was fine. Again, all the later DD KZ models have all been fine. Yeah, to say really, isolation I thought was okay. Again, it has to breathe because it's a dynamic driver, so they're not. All BA units typically are sealed, so they tend to be blocked more out. But yeah, let's go into power and sensitivity. Now, I didn't find these picky or anything like that. If as long as the source is fine, you should be okay. I tried this on a few of my audio adapters, I didn't really gain anything going between them. They're not really, I didn't find you need anything, anything, you know, fancy, shall we say. But yeah, so let's talk about actual tonality of these, or the timbre as people call it. And one of the better ones, because the upper trebles smoothed off a little bit, which I'll talk about in a bit. It didn't sound as artificial. Like sometimes some cymbals, like when like the crash sounds odd, it sounds artificial. This doesn't do that. Oops, back in focus. Yeah, this doesn't do that. Unlike the other, like the CRA Plus and the EDX Ultra, they both got kind of that kind of trait. The EDA balanced doesn't. But yeah, I'm glad they smoothed it off a little bit, because this is probably the better what I prefer. But yeah, it's a good set. Stage is good as well, and imaging is good. So far, so good from what I've said. These are pretty good. I'm not sure the actual price of these yet either. So I'm sure it's cheaper than the CRA Plus. And it looks like a limited edition. So you have to bear that in mind whenever you watch this video. So yeah, let's just get on to the sound. So I'll overlay the graph now. And as you can see, these are bassy boys. So it's got a bigger driver, like I said, the 12mm. So it has good slam to it, as many folks call it, which it does. It doesn't sound muddy, but it's got really good texture on the low end. Again, I'm not sure if they make this driver themselves, or so it's made for them or whatever, but the driver for the low frequency is good. Again, it didn't sound muddy. It bleeds a little bit into the lower mids, but I don't mind that at all, like I've said a few times. Yeah, these are they have plenty of low end. Like all KZs, they're not light on bass, and this is plenty of bass. They're quite fun sounding, to be honest, but yeah, it's quite good. Mids a little bit scooped, but not too bad. They follow the kind of same trend as all the KZ models. And obviously they a little bit push more towards the top. I didn't find these fatiguing at all. The tuning of all the newer models is better than it a lot. It used to be a lot kind of, when it used to be really V-shaped and shouty. This doesn't do that. Female vocals and male vocals all sound pretty good. Again, probably the better tuning of the lot they've done so far. Treble, I think they did a pretty good job of this. Again, it's kind of swings and roundabouts compared to other models, but the upper part is a little bit more relaxed. Like I said before, it doesn't sound artificial. Or when instruments hit the crash, it doesn't sound like that. I prefer this over the EDX Ultra and CRA Plus. They do have a bit more extension, but I think it can be a bit too much. But instruments sound great, so everything in the treble sounds great. Again, KZ have done another good job of it. It is a little bit boosted in the treble. They don't really roll off anymore, but it's perfectly in my kind of tolerance. Yeah, but I think they've done a really good job again. So out of all the newer models, this probably and the EDA balanced are probably what I prefer, because they don't have the crazy treble, which makes things sound, to me, it makes it sound a little bit artificial. It doesn't have that real kind of natural sound. This does, in my opinion. Also, no sibilants. I know there's a little bit of a boost around the 5K and the 2.5-ish on the graph. I have no issues with that at all. Also, there's no like, when you put them in here, you get the crinkling effect. It doesn't do that, like driver flex. This doesn't have that. So yeah, kind of short really, but not much to say, because these, I'm sure these are under $25, and they do perform very well across the board. I've tried this with a bunch of different genres, like I said, and it works fine on electronic, or if you like pop music. I've tried this on rock, like symphonic metal as well, classical as well, and just general bits and bobs and just a variety. It works fine on all of it really, which I'm quite glad. So yeah, so conclusion is, do I recommend these? Yes. Oops, I guess it doesn't like the actual metal on the back. So I do recommend these. These are probably one of the best they've done. I prefer these over the EDX Ultra and the CRA Plus, just because of that treble extension part. Obviously all KZs are bassy, so you have to bear that in mind, and you have to just choose what kind of suits your preference. If you can read frequency response graphs, that's very useful because you can pick kind of what you want. But yeah, these are a good set. I'm sure they are more affordable than the CRA Plus, which are like $30, which is a little bit too much for those. But yeah, a good set. Good to see KZ refining their way. I'm quite curious to what they do, because TRN now have made a planar. So let's see if KZ do something similar. So yeah, if you want to know anything in particular, as usual, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching and take care.